Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I'm assuming you guys clicked on this video because one, you are in the process of going through the warrant officer flight interview board, or two, you are very curious on how a board interview process goes. I'm doing it right now because I literally just got out of my board, but I'm going to tell you guys what I did to help me get prepared for this interview board.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning.
So if you guys are interested in becoming a warrant officer pilot like myself, there is quite a process that you have to go through. My first part of the process was I had to complete the SIF. This is the selection instrument for a flight. It's basically a test that will take a couple hours, 2.5 hours, and it's going to test your knowledge. There's hidden figures, there's simple drawings, there's aviation knowledge on the FAA handbook. There's a lot of stuff that you guys can study to make sure that you set yourself up for success. Once you pass the SIFT, you need to get at least a 40 to pass the SIFT, and I believe the max score is an 80, but it's always good to shoot high and get higher than a 40. To be honest, I didn't even think I was going to pass the SIFT when I was taking the SIFT, because there was a point in the process where I answered like 3 out of 35 of the questions on the hidden figures, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. But luckily I ended up passing the SIFT. Right after the SIFT is the next step, which is you gotta do a flight physical. The flight physical is pretty rigorous. It's a very in detail and in-depth look at your health, any past injuries, and once you go through the flight physical, they should pass you at your exam if everything is good, but they also have to send that packet off to Fort Rucker to get approved and signed off by the flight surgeons out there. And the third and final step in becoming, or even having the chance to get a slot to go to warrant officer school and then flight school, is you have to complete a packet. This packet took me, I want to say, a month and a half, mainly because I was waiting on letters of recommendation. But my packet was about 45 pages. And in your packet, you're going to have college transcripts. If you have college transcripts, you don't need to have a college degree, which is a cool thing about becoming a warrant officer pilot, but it's going to look good if you have that. It's a good way to separate yourself. You're going to want to make sure that your PT score is at least over a 270. You're going to have your ERB in there as well. It's your enlisted record brief. And then there's going to be a lot of like police background checks, driver background checks that you're going to have to get done to comprise your flight packet. Now, once you finish your packet, you're going to submit it by the deadline, and they're going to review your packet to see if you have a chance to go to the flight board. And the next step is they're going to review your packet. Once they review your packet, they're going to send you an email letting you know if you are selected to go interview at the board or not. And mind you, I started this process back in, I want to say, July 2019, just studying for the SIFT, and now it is September 2020, so it is a pretty lengthy process. I just had the interview, and I was stressing about this interview for months. Once I figured out that I got the chance to even have the opportunity to go to an interview. And one of the biggest things that I did that I think helped me with my interview was I basically just reviewed my packet. All my past interviews that I've done for other jobs have basically been them just going through my resume and, asking me about certain leadership skills or experiences that I've had within those job titles or positions. And it's basically kind of like the same thing at the WAFT flight board. But they're going to ask a little more specific questions, pertaining to the job as well. So make sure you're familiar with, maybe what you want to fly and why you want to do it. That's the biggest question. Figure out why you want to do it. Make sure you are up to date on your packet and you know how to answer as many interview questions as you possibly can. It is like a formal board. You're gonna knock on the door 3 times. They're gonna say, come in. You're gonna do your march. Step in. Right face. Might be different for you. You walk to the seat. Once you get to the seat, you step in front of the seat. You do a left face the board. There was 8 people at the board. So think about that. 8 people, all lieutenant colonels or CW5s, just interviewing, asking you questions. So it was pretty intimidating, not gonna lie. So I don't recommend drinking coffee or anything that's going to, you know, spike your anxiety or increase your heart rate. But they do try to make it as relaxed as possible, and they are going to dig into your packet. For instance, I'm still a specialist. I've been in for 9 years, so they kind of asked me, why haven't you been promoted yet? And it's because I haven't gone to BLC yet. So be ready to answer those tough questions. But other than that, they said, I mean, I read online that people, they got their results that day, or they got it that week. And according to the board scribe, he said that we'll know this week if we got the slots or not. And they didn't really say how many slots they had. That was my experience with the WAFT board interview. If you guys have any questions, you guys can always shoot me a text at 617-286-3802, or you can leave a comment down below in the comment section, and I'll be happy to help you guys and, you know, tell you about my process. And hopefully in the near future I'm going to flight school. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to smash that thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video.